All right. Well,
Is it game on?
yeah, we're live.
Oh, cool. Okay, go ahead. Let's do this.
Welcome back. It's episode 5 of the Feronus Podcast. My name's Justin,
And I'm Rico.
and today we got a little bit different of an episode planned. We don't have a guest with us today. We just wanted to kind of reflect a little bit about, what we've learned over the past couple weeks.
Which has been really cool, especially because I feel like the two, the two guests that we did have were very influential. They actually also go on different types of, what's the word I'm looking for? Perspectives on mental health, which I thought was huge because you have Hannah who she has a clinic out right on Sunset, and then you have, excuse me, go ahead, what's his name?
Bill.
Bill. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Bill, who not only has been working for so long in the industry, but also has developed different ways of handling mental health, from the reptilian concept, which I thought was really cool, to also being able to connect with kids and adults equally. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed the stark contrast between Hannah's approach, which I mean, yes, she works with younger people, but it almost seemed like she primarily worked with adults, whereas Bill, it was kind of the all right. Well, after some technical difficulties, we were just talking about the stark contrast
Yes.
between Hannah and Bill's approach to working with mental health, and the approach of how do you get an adult that may be apprehensive towards therapy or different social programs versus getting a kid to be willing and interested in participating in something like that.
And how they actually, what I found the most fascinating is how much they aligned. Even though there was contrast in their differences in approaches and differences in even clientele, there was a lot of overlap as to how adults react as the same as sometimes how kids act. I thought that was really cool to see the different approaches, but still coming to the same goal and having the same ideas around the whole concept of mental health.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at the camera again. I'm like, are we good? Like,
Yeah,
is everything good?
as we expand and get new technology, we have to learn about the technology. But yeah, I definitely liked the similarities that were raised, and the one core similarity that I think I know we talked about with Bill. I don't remember if we brought it up with Hannah, but was just the idea of simply treating a person like a person.
Yes.
Looking past, the criminal record or the behavior or the words or whatever it might be, and still recognizing like, hey, I'm still talking to a real life
I think
person.
we did bring that up a lot with Hannah regarding the labels. And if I remember correctly, the difference between a boundary and a trigger.
Yeah,
Because when we did, and that's what I meant by the alignment, because when Bill really talked about looking at a person, I thought we did talk about that also with Hannah, because some people like sometimes looking at a relationship like a mirror and having that ability to say, okay, is this a trigger or are you actually crossing a boundary with me? Because triggers are what help us grow. Triggers are what allow us to be like, oh, shoot, this is still hurting me. How do I stop? How do I empower myself to let this stop hurting me, as opposed to somebody actually slapping me in the face? Okay, I need to walk away from that situation.
right.
So there's differences between triggers and boundaries. And that was what I thought was aligned with what Bill said.
Well, and something that we talked about with both Bill and Hannah was this idea that labels are both a good and bad thing, right? I mean, labels kind of create that excuse mentality
Yes,
sometimes.
I remember, yeah.
Um, But labels are also what's behind reasoning, right? So me being diagnosed with ADHD, before I had that diagnosis, I was lazy, I was inconsiderate, I was a pleasure to have in class, but I talked too much, all the typical things.
From it, yeah.
And then we found out I had ADHD, and we're like, oh, suddenly all this makes sense. Suddenly it's aligning, and then I didn't have to wear that lazy badge on my
Right.
shoulder.
Well, it's interesting because when we talk about labels, it's almost like a permission slip, and you get to choose which permission slips you allow. So, like, okay, I don't like this permission slip of being lazy. Okay, so what serves me better? Well, this concept of ADHD, I can work with that more than I can with somebody calling me lazy. So they work as like these permission slips for what serves me the best to make me the best version of myself that I can make myself.
I can get behind that. Um, and being more than just your labels, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Being more
it's
than that's that, but that's what I'm saying is if we look at the labels from the perspective of not pigeonholing people, because I think that's where labels get us stuck. Because then you move into it. I remember I was talking this with Bill. Now you're ADHD, so now you've gone from a lazy label to an ADHD label, and then you just suck yourself in there instead of using them as again as like I like to. I'm using this idea that I learned from a different source of like a way of just saying, okay, what serves me the best? What serves me as okay, ADHD serves me because I know how I can maneuver through that and use it,
right.
as opposed to okay, I just have ADHD. That's my excuse. I'm gonna
Well,
sit back and do nothing. You know what I mean?
the way my experience was is like, you know, me before the ADHD diagnosis, externally, I'm being told I'm lazy. You're not doing
Right.
enough. You're spending too much time on the couch, whatever it might be. ADHD paralysis is real. Heck, we
Well,
even, I mean, I was just reading a study earlier that was talking about how dopamine is kind of the fuel for the motor control process of the brain. And ADHD people have a dopamine deficiency. So getting stuck on the couch isn't necessarily their fault. And so when I finally had that ADHD label, I was finally able to stop telling myself that I was lazy, right? Because after years of people telling me that I'm lazy and all these other things, you kind of like, well, there must be some truth to it because it keeps on happening and I keep on getting told the same thing. And then you find out, oh, no, there's this other underlying thing behind it. And you're like, oh, I don't have to identify with that anymore. And I can, you know, give the reasoning as to why I'm that way. And because I know that about myself, I can actually learn techniques and do what I can to get over it and get past those boundaries.
and that's exactly what I love about the whole therapeutic concept is helping you look at yourself. The goal of therapy, what I've learned over the course of time, is to help you empower yourself. I think one of the biggest misconceptions of therapy is they're going to fix you.
Mhm.
Nobody outside of yourself can fix you. Nobody can. What you can do is get assistance from people. We're social creatures. We all need each other. So when you're on the couch, what can help you move to a place going, okay, I'm on the couch, I'm in this funk. What do I need to help get myself out? Let me call a friend. Let me call my mom. Let me call my
Right,
wife
parallel
or
play
what
and things
parallel,
like that.
right, whatever you need. You decide what it is you need for yourself to get yourself in or out of situations.
Mhm.
And one of the greatest things I ever heard, I actually said it to the newspaper when they were doing I think it was like an expose on me after the election that I won. And they said, what was the greatest advice I'd ever received? Well, the greatest advice I ever received is follow your passion for as long as you can to the best of your ability without the insistence of an outcome. Do it just because you love it.
Yeah,
And guess what? Something good will always happen. And then when you're done doing it, you do something else. So if sitting on the couch is serving you, great. Until it doesn't. Then do
right.
something else. And then if, like sitting on the couch or being low, it's okay to be low.
Mhm.
That's what I think we also misinterpret with the concept of mental health.
You know what I call that? I
What?
call it having a day.
Yes.
So when I, you know, it's something that, you know, me and my brother do, you know, if we're reaching out for each other, you know, if we're needing that support, you know, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm just having a day. Oh man, what can I do for you? Need to
Right.
talk? You know,
Yes.
it's kind of that underlying or secret way of, you know, checking in on one
I
another,
love that.
letting the other person know, hey, I'm not doing 100%.
I love that. Like you need a day. I agree with that 110%. Sometimes you just need a day. Now, on the contrast of it, some people I've known take 200 days.
Right.
And so that's what I meant by the greatest advice is follow your passion. I mean, if your passion is sitting on the couch for 200 days, I guess.
You know, I think there's some Twitch channels that have made some pretty big stars doing
Yeah,
that.
well, I don't know if they're sitting on the couch or at least on the computer. But like, I mean, it's tough because that's then it goes into the deeper philosophical concept of what's living. If you want to sit on your couch, I mean, are you experiencing life? Because one another philosophical concept I have, which is why I love mental health. Well, I don't love it, but like I like the awareness of it.
Okay.
Sorry, my throat. Um, is I feel like I'm a teenager again. Um, is being able to experience life. Like we don't have much on this planet other than experiences. Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to say even money is the root of all evil because it's not, because it is an experience to ride a Porsche or a Lamborghini or something like that. Now, if you don't get to experience it, that's okay too. But I'm just saying it's a series of experiences that we get to have, and we get to make meaning of those experiences, and how we choose to react or how to feel about it is always going to be our choice.
Right.
And being a history guy, looking at some of the worst scenarios in history of, the way the Indians were treated by the British during the mid 1900s with Gandhi, and how Gandhi was still able to love certain people. Or my favorite is Nelson Mandela. He hired all of the Africans, the white Africans that persecuted his people. He hired him to his government after he became president. I mean, how you're able to still react in a loving way besides after somebody does something so horrible to you
Ooh,
is phenomenal.
wait, I know the answer to that one.
Tell me.
You treat them like a person.
Oh yeah, wait.
We
Okay,
covered
we're
that.
done.
Full
All
circle.
over. All over.
Mission complete.
Done. Hey, I hope you enjoyed all of us.
Well, switching gears a little bit. Something
Yeah.
that I didn't do last episode with Bill here. We got on the topic a little bit.
Okay.
I was talking, well, Bill was doing the reptile shows,
Yeah,
raising
yeah,
his
yeah.
tortoises and things like
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
Bill, you asked him how he got into reptiles, if I remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you brought up the story of, well, every reptile kid starts out as a dinosaur kid.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we didn't go around and ask each other what your favorite dinosaur was. And
Do you know Bill's favorite dinosaur? Just even though he's not here, I think it'd be funny if
I don't. I should have asked him.
we should text him.
I
Let's
can
do it
text
right
him real
now.
quick.
We're gonna text Bill and see what his favorite dinosaur is,
We'll see if he answers.
and give him a shout out.
But it started as kind of a joke in my head, but it is true. When you're a kid, people ask you questions all the time just for the sake of asking you questions and getting you
Right.
talking. And one of those questions is what your favorite dinosaur is. But when you're an adult, or heck, even early teenage years, people stop caring about that sort of thing. Not that they
What
really ever cared in the first place.
about your favorite dinosaur or just favorite things?
Just favorite dinosaur, specifically the dinosaur. I mean, things in
Yeah,
general.
you're
but, like,
right.
when was the last time somebody asked you what your favorite dinosaur was? You were probably 12 or younger.
So now I'm depressed because I didn't even think about that till right now. And I have kids and I teach and still hasn't been brought up to me in since I was 12. I don't think kids ask each other that question anymore.
Right.
Actually, I want to text my daughter, see what her favorite
I
thing
like
is.
this. So anyway, I wanted to do that today with you and I.
Okay.
So your favorite dinosaur is?
I have a couple. When I was younger, so I had to think about this. Um, when I was younger, I really loved the Velociraptor. Now, that may be a tribute to the wonderful cinematic masterpiece that is Jurassic Park, because the first one came out when I was in fourth or fifth grade. And I'll never forget it. I had the VHS and it was my birthday. And I had a big sleepover and we all watched Jurassic Park and Mighty Ducks 2. So it was the Velociraptor. But as I had gotten older, I had to rethink this concept. I have to say, I really think, and this is going to sound weird because I just think this stuff is fun. I don't necessarily think this is the end all be all of anything, but I think it's weird that I decided to go with a pterodactyl because I'm also a Libra. And so, yeah, I know. See,
Enlighten me? No, I don't know enough about the
so I
stars.
actually took this class over COVID because I'm a history guy,
Yeah.
and it was the Babylonian. What was it? The Babylonian era astronomy, and it went into astrology. So I thought it was interesting. And a Libra is a wind sign, like when you're born in the fall ish.
Sure.
So based on when you're born, and so they like flying stuff. So I like eagles and hawks and stuff. But I really like wolves. Wolves are my favorite. But anyway, see now we're digressing.
Hold
out
on.
there. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. We'll get there.
Well, I was gonna say because I'm a Taurus, and my favorite dinosaurs are the Pentaceratops and the Triceratops.
That makes because
So
I'm like
there's some
pterodactyl.
things lining up
Yeah.
there. Okay, we'll give
That's
it.
crazy.
Put chalk one up.
So
For
chalking
the
up for the
star people.
astrological people. But yeah, no, I have to say pterodactyl because they were. I mean, I don't feel like they get enough love, and they were really. They were one of the biggest flying mammals of all time. Reptiles. Sorry. I'm sick. Leave me alone.
But anyway,
Just getting over it.
there is also an underlying reason why I was asking you this question today, and that would be.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Did you get an answer?
What is a zalmoxis?
Oh, she pulling out some niche stuff. I don't even. How do you spell that?
Zalmoxes.
Zalmoxes. Oh, that's a cool looking dinosaur.
Really? It's a thing?
Yeah.
Let me see this thing.
I'm gonna have to put a picture on screen for you guys. I'll
Yeah,
let you
that's
tell
gonna
me.
have to happen. Why?
It's
Why?
pretty neat. You
Oh,
could
it's
probably ride
beautiful.
that too. Yeah.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
mean, you don't know what they look like.
Well, it's right there. It's beautiful.
Yes, of course. That's exactly what color they
That's
were.
yes, and it was silky smooth like that.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a pretty dinosaur. Good job, Nana Bell. Love
All right.
you.
All right. And Bill just got back to me too.
Mm.
Um, Bill says it's a tie between Triceratops and Stegosaurus, which Stegosaurus is a fantastic one too.
Well, and yes, I now want to know. Okay, so my daughter picked that, but she's also a Libra, which is interesting. Now I'm curious what Bill is, just for the sake of fun.
I'll have to find that
We'll
out
have to.
for
Well,
next
yeah.
episode.
Oh, wait, we're gonna digress again.
Well, okay. So the whole reason why we were talking about what our favorite dinosaur is to actually talk about one of my favorite social experiments that I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this. I'm sure I learned this somewhere, but it is something that I started doing by myself when I was in high school, and it's just kind of a habit that I've developed. And that would be to see people for their inner child. Whenever you're seeing an adult doing something that doesn't make sense, see them for their inner child and see if it makes sense then. That kid that's having road rage and is throwing a temper tantrum in his car, a lot easier to understand when you're seeing him as that child that's inside, right? And that inner child should be alive for all of us, hopefully. Um, and if you need to, you take a moment, Rico, if you would, take a moment, reconnect with that inner child,
Well,
right?
see that you see
Woosah.
that's not fair because I do that all the
Well,
time.
right. We're practiced. It's okay. It doesn't mean we can't do it. But then it's like you ask yourself, well, what motivated you as a kid, right? Getting the thing or, food or being able to go on that play date or seeing your friend, whatever it might have been. Do the same sorts of things still motivate you?
No, and they don't. And it's interesting because at the end of the day, um, we are. Again. Okay, I think you guys know by now I'm a history guy. The only certain things in life are death and taxes. And I think it was Mr. Franklin who said that. I may be wrong on that one actually. But everything else changes. Everything changes. Nothing stays static. And that's what makes this life so fun. And so when you connect with your inner child, and I love that he said that, you go back to a time when you were able to accept those changes for what they were and look at a majority of the time positively. Because you look at a child and they always have fun. That's their goal in life is to have fun. Somewhere along the line when we become adults, we forget that. And so you know how many times I've been made fun of, like I'm talking minutely, secondly, because they go, Mr. Camacho, you're such a child. Mr. Camacho, grow up. And you want to know what I tell them? Why?
Right. Fun is important.
Who cares? Like, let me be me, and I'm gonna, and then when I am angry, I go back to my inner child and go, wait, why am I angry? There's a different motivation. Is it a safety thing? Is it is it a fear thing? Well, I guess safety and fear, same thing, but you tend to go into those negative emotional concepts of what is it. Now, children tend to scream out because they're still working on understanding that. As adults, that's what we say, oh, you're an adult, you should know. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. Because we all get angry and we don't even know why we're angry half the time. What is it? But I guarantee you, it's always something within yourself that you've lost.
Well, no, I was just talking to a friend of mine about people's, taking time to strengthen emotional intelligence and kind of having the wherewithal to understand the impact that you're having on others. And to circle back, what I was kind of asking about with, do the same sorts of things motivate you as a
Mm-hmm.
child, as an adult? I would disagree with you
Mm-hmm.
and say for most people, it probably is pretty similar depending on the perspective. If you're a child that's very motivated by, going on the play date and seeing your friends, right? As an adult, you probably like spending time around people,
Hmm.
right? And if you don't, maybe something changed along the way, or maybe
I was going to say,
you lost connection with that and you would like to get back to it, but you don't know it yet.
this may
That
be a
kind of
thing
thing.
that could be fun that we agree to disagree on because that's a possibility.
Hmm.
But I have seen things over time where you have the most social person in the world. There's a very close person to me, I won't name them, but there's someone who was very close to me. That person was so social. Oh my God. That person was the belle of the ball, the life of the party. Now that person can't get them out of their couch ever. This is one of those people that I said has 300 days on the couch. Negative, just completely different, a different person
Right.
than they were. So, are there some linear concepts? Yes. I think what I would go with you on is everybody seeks the same thing, and it goes back to the inner child. We all seek for that higher level of emotional gratification. We all love to feel loved, passion, joy, you know, contentment. We all love satisfaction, all of those things. It's when we end up getting disappointed because the things from our external environment tend to destroy our joy. So, like that play date you talk about.
Right.
I want to go on that play date. That person goes on that play date with me from when I'm 5 years old to when I'm 15 years old. All of a sudden, we're 16. They get a car, and no longer are we having play dates, and now I'm disappointed. Well, I get angry, and I feel like the world is against me. And now I'm going to go on no more play dates because all they do is make me feel sad instead of going, oh, that's sometimes how the way things goes. Let me go in a different direction, and maybe other better friends are coming my way.
Hmm.
And that's where I say, is there a pattern that we all like at times? Absolutely. However, is that the end all be all? Absolutely not.
It never is.
You know what I
It's
mean?
the human
So it's
condition.
it's a human condition, exactly. So life is this is what again what makes life fun is it's so complex. We don't always know where life will take us, no matter how much we believe we do. We do know we can have trajectories and momentum, like, oh, this looks like it'll go, like in the next 3 seconds, I'm pretty sure Justin and I will keep talking, right? Unless,
Probably.
I would say that's a safe bet, unless something dramatic happens, like the camera blows up, which,
Don't say that.
knock
We've
on
had
wood.
so many technical difficulties already.
I mean, even then we'd still be talking like, but no. At the end of the day, like there are other scenarios where we would stop talking, but I feel pretty confident that that's what's going to happen. So does he. But at the end of the day, we always don't exactly know how things will turn out, and I think that that's where we judging and labeling patterns of behavior is sometimes difficult to do, but we can still try to maneuver life through it, and maneuvering through life is what makes that fun.
Of course. Well, Rico and I love to talk, but we do have to wrap things up at some point in
Yes, we
time.
do. Amen. Sorry, it's
Um,
partly me.
so before we get to the end, our usual things, we do have an event, a last minute event to spotlight. It's the Plowshare and NAMI event. It's mental health accessing resources in our community. It'll be Tuesday, May 20th. That should be tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Waukesha State Bank. It's in the community room. Again, that's the Plowshare and NAMI present mental health accessing resources in our community. So I imagine a lot of what we cover here or what will be covered here is also covered there.
Yes.
Wonderful. I also wanted
Oh,
to,
would you be able to post that in LinkedIn?
oh, of course,
Yes,
yes.
that'll be a great event.
Information's in the description, all of that.
It's right at Waukesha State Bank, so please go. I would love to attend, but I have the city council meeting, so
Those darn meetings.
I'm
Another
sick. Just kidding.
Another resource that I recently learned about, uh, which I didn't, after I learned about it, I didn't realize until today it was founded so close to home, is the Healthy Minds Innovation and the Healthy Minds Program app. It's an app you can download for free on your phone. It's actually pay what you want. So you download it for free, but they work off of donations to keep the service going. And it is free guided meditations, learning wellness techniques. There's all sorts of different contributors that have done it. The program itself, Healthy Minds Innovations, they partner with different collaborators to host events. I was looking at their calendar and they had like a weekly bike ride thing that they
Well,
were
that sounds
all
like
sorts of
fun.
stuff. But the app to have it in home for free, there's no risk, there's no, credit card on sign up or any of that stuff. And it's, based on real neuroscience. The founder of the app, oh, and I didn't write his name down because I'm bad. I'll put it up on screen. But he met with the Dalai Lama in 1992. He started working with the UW Madison College
Oh, that
in
looks.
1984. But in
That's so cool.
1992, things changed. And there's a quote from the doctor that made this app that says, His Holiness challenged me and asked why we are not using the tools of modern neuroscience to study things like kindness and
Oh, wow.
compassion, and
That's
why
cool.
instead we're using it to focus on negative things like anxiety and depression.
That is so
And
cool.
it completely changed the course of this man's studies. And now, I mean, it's again a free resource for everybody right on your phone, wherever you'd like.
That's cool.
Next up, as always, the PSA for the 988 Lifeline. Whether you're facing mental health struggles, emotional distress, alcohol or drug use concerns, or just need someone to talk to, their caring counselors are here for you. You are not alone. Call, text, or chat anytime, 365.
Thank you guys.
Of course. Thank you. As always, my name is Justin.
Rico,
Please like, subscribe, follow. Rico's got some Instagram and stuff like that.
yep,
All the links are in the description. You know what to do. Thank
please
you.
do. All right, guys. Thank you.